My name is Morgan Harvey, and I am from Fort Worth, Texas. I am a senior at Southeastern Oklahoma State University. I graduated in 2020 with my Associate of Arts degree from Tarrant County College in Fort Worth. I have been a teacher's aide for 6 years in a special education setting, and I am working towards my teaching certificate through Texas Teachers of Tomorrow. I want to be a teacher because I want to make a difference in the lives of others. Through my years as a teacher's assistant, I have seen too much negative reinforcement being practiced among teachers. This brings me to my central problem, which is there is too much negative reinforcement. I believe negative reinforcement is a problem in today's schools. Students who display behavior concerns and continue to receive negative reinforcement will never try to improve their own behaviors. I understand that school is about academics and education, but there is a way to display proper classroom management and remain a positive, happy person for your students. I do not agree with teachers who continue to yell and raise their voice to their students. Children don't respond to that. Instead of getting on to little Johnny because he didn't raise his hand, let's praise him every time he does. This displays positive reinforcement and will help Johnny remember to raise his hand because he enjoyed the positive attention he gained from following the rules. I have a lot of teachers that I remember in my day. In fact, I remember all of them. I remember the ones that were kind. I remember the ones that weren't. I remember the ones that belittled me. And I remember the ones who would say comments like, oh, she's not going to remember this, because I do remember it. I was not a student who was treated kindly by their teachers. My teachers could have done a lot better with me. And I want to be different for my future students. I want my students to walk into the room and feel something that I didn't. Teachers have a major impact on the mental health of children. My teachers never believed in me and labeled me, so I stopped trying to be good. I could feel when my teachers didn't like me, and it caused me to act out. That's how I know that children who have behavior issues, I am very well at determining what is triggering their behavior issues, because I was one of them. Ethically speaking, we as teachers don't want to be responsible for the negative mental health of our students. If I knew that my teaching methods and philosophy on education could impact the mental health of my students, I would be sure to remain practicing positive reinforcement. Negative reinforcement will never improve their well-being. It will only make it worse. For example, not even just positive reinforcement, teaching can be fun. You can have certain incentives in the classroom that make children happy to come to school. You don't have to be so strict. You can pick your battles with your students. A lot of students that I work with don't have the best home life. It's very unfortunate, but they don't have the best home life. Some of them don't get to eat dinner. They don't get to eat breakfast. Some of them are abused. When the student comes into the classroom and they ask for a snack, you don't have to say no, it's not time for snack. That could be the only thing that student eats that day. When a student comes into work or comes into the classroom and he forgets his pencil, stop getting on to him for forgetting his pencil. Simply just always have a pencil ready. It's a pencil. We as teachers don't need to be sweating the small stuff, because we would hate for our students to sweat the small stuff as well. Basically, what I'm trying to say is it's a topic that I feel very passionate about. It's not necessarily negative reinforcement. It's the way that adults treat children. It's both of them combined, and I don't really understand how to make that into a central problem, so I use negative reinforcement because I believe that's what it is. When you continually get onto a student for something that they have done repeatedly, it's time to just ignore it because they feed off of your negative reinforcement. If you were to give them positive incentives and positive reinforcement for everything that they did good, it would make the student feel a lot more confident. Students need to feel confident. That is my conclusion. I believe negative reinforcement is not to be used in the classroom. There's too much of it. Positive reinforcement needs to be the main focal point in how you discipline your students.